Hi guys, this is Mr. Assassin and I'm here to record the review for Hunter x Hunter chapter 344. Now you will excuse me long hair, I have to get a haircut, but I'll do that this weekend, hopefully. Now this chapter is very interesting. It's made out of 3 parts. Part 1 is the discussion between Kurapika and Leorio, and also Kurapika's thoughts. Part 2 is that Pariston's guys are trying to attack Jin, and they don't want him to be number 2. So I'll get into that later. And part 3 is the discussion that Jin has with his new troop about the previous attempts to get to the Dark Hunter. And boy, do we have a surprise at the end when Jin is telling them about the 5 tricks to the Dark Hunter, because he knows something that the others didn't know, but I think Pariston did. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So let's start with the beginning, with part 1. We see Kurapika in a room. He has several of the Kurta clan eyes, so I'm guessing that he managed to save some of the eyes, and now he's keeping them somewhere safe, probably in the basement that the cow has found him. You remember last chapter when cow got to the mafia. I don't think it was the mafia. Anyway, when cow was talking to that guy, he said that Kurapika was in the basement. So I think this location is in that basement, and we see that he has some of the eyes of the Kurta clan, and now he's hoping to get the rest. So he's hoping to reunite all the eyes of the Kurta clan. And I've always thought that when the eyes come together, something happens. Not only because so Kurapika doesn't do this only because of his devotion to the clan, but he also does it for another reason. And now it's beginning to look like that, because we see that he actually tells, he's talking to himself, and he says that his eyes are both the path to the future and the past. So we don't know what exactly that means. It probably means nothing. It could mean nothing, but I like to think, my personal opinion, that when the eyes come together, something will happen to Kurapika. Also, we see Kurapika thinking about the character Pyro. I think that's how you pronounce it. And about the journey that Kurapika will undergo right now in the Dark Continent, and that his travels are just beginning. But soon all the eyes will be reunited, and the past to the future and the past to the old. So we don't know exactly what that means. Then we jump a little bit ahead, and Kurapika is in a car with Cow, one of the Zodiacs, and Kurapika is speaking to Leorio, and the discussion is not that important. Leorio wants Kurapika's email address, but Kurapika doesn't want to give it. Cow asks Kurapika not to basically go all ahead on the prince, and Kurapika says that he's very well trained to deal with monsters that are hiding inside human skins. So he basically has a plan to get the eyes from the prince, Also, Kurapika is asking Leolio about Gon, and we see Leolio telling Kurapika that Gon is fine now, he shouldn't worry. And then we see Gon, we see a panel of Gon, and he cannot use his aura. His aura is not coming up, quote unquote. So the treatment that he got from Killua's sister, from Aluka, probably did something to him. Either that, or because he used such a powerful nan attack before when fighting Pito, his body isn't in tune with his aura right now. So we will see that in later chapters, I hope. So basically that's the first part. The second part we go to Jing, and we see that Pariston's guys, the guys that were with Pariston, do not agree with the Jing being number 2, and they are getting themselves ready for the battle to fight Jing. We even saw that creepy doll that is supposed to be number 1 saying battle preparations completed, so she really wanted to fight. Everybody really wanted to fight Jing and get the hell out of there. They didn't like the changes in leadership, but of course Jing doesn't want to fight, doesn't want to waste his powers on some meaningless fights, some fights that he won't get any profit out of, because if he were to fight here, he would have probably died, or even if he didn't die, it would be hard to escape, and it wouldn't be profitable. But of course he has a lot of money from the mission, probably from the missions he did, we don't know. And he said that he will double the fee that they are getting paid, that each of the other hunters are getting paid, and he will pay them up front. And one of the most of the guys are confused, but one of the guys says, well, if you pay me up front, here's my agreed sum, here's my agreed sum in my bank account, let's see you pay. And he pays the guy, and the guy leaves. And everybody says, well, if you pay him now, he's not coming back, he just bailed. But we see later on that he does come back, and he already used all the money from Jing to pay the insurance for his sister, which was in the hospital. And Jing is probably a little bit touched by that gesture, and says and tells the guy that now there's no way he can let him die. That basically he will protect them in the dark country. Now the other guys are a little bit confused about Jing's offer. They want to know what strings are attached to this offer, and Jing tells them, well, I'm just going to pay you because I don't want to fight with you. Basically that's what he says. I'm going to double the amount of money that Diana and Taro paid you, and I will have no additional orders from you. One of the guys doesn't want to take the money. He agrees that Jing should be number 2, but he doesn't want to take the money, and they get into a little bit of a fight, for word fight, not a physical fight. But eventually everybody accepts Jing as number 2, and Pariston was, I think, the decisive factor in that, because Pariston already accepts Jing as number 2, and Pariston wasn't going to get paid anyway, because Diana Tero, well, Pariston doesn't care about money, so when he allied himself with Diana Tero, he didn't ask for any money, and now Jing was going to basically double the number 0, and 0 multiplied by 2 times is still 0, so Pariston doesn't get paid anything, but he agrees with Jing being number 2, so then everybody else kind of falls in line. And that's the second part. And the third part of the chapter, which is by far the most interesting part, is the presentation that Jin gives his troop. And basically, his troop, the hunters, um, yeah, I'm just going to call all of them because we don't know any names, so I'm just going to call all of them Jin's, uh, Jin's troop. Jin's, yeah, Jin's troop. That's the best name for it. And they want to know, well, why do people want to go to the Dark Continent? Because they already know that there's a very, very high risk. So why go there? Are there some rewards behind the attempts to go there? And basically, Jing said that in each of the 5 trips that people went to the Dark Continent, they found artifacts, very priceless artifacts, like in the first trip that they take, I think it was the Beggars country, or a number of countries that allied together, and they were named the Beggars Filiation or something like that. But basically, they send 1,000 troops to the dark, in the north of the Dark Continent. Remember that, in the north, and they found some caves there, some mountains, and inside those caves they found what was named the Ghost Stone. And this Ghost Stone can produce just a marble of it, a tiny little bit of it. When dropped into water, it can produce over 20,000 kilowatts of power that can sustain for a whole day. Of course, the Beggars Filiation send 1,000 troops there, out of which only 7 returned, because the caves where the Ghost Stone could be found was guarded by the Public. And I am still going to name it the Public because in today's chapter it was named the PvP, but I think that was just a mistranslation. So the caves were guarded by the Public, and out of 1,000 troops, only 7 returned. Then in the second trip, they went further north, and after going through a sea of trees, quote unquote sea of trees, they discovered some ancient ruins, and these ruins were guarded by the weapon Brian. They found inside the ruins a medicinal plant, the all-curing herb, I think it was called, that can cure over 10,000 diseases. And we don't know how many people they sent there, but only 2 survivors returned. So practically Brian, the weapon Brian, killed almost all of them. 2 survivors returned from that trip with the herbs. Then on the first trip they went south. I think it's Oshima Federation. The Oshima Federation went south. They wanted to get a special kind of grain. It was called nitro grain, like in Toriko, nitro, for those of you who know. It was called the nitro grain, and out of all the people they sent, 99% died, only 11 returned. So a quick mathematical calculation, and that means that they actually sent 1,100 people there, out of which only 1% returned. That was 11 people, and so almost all of them were killed by the snake Elbel. Then on the 4th trip, the association Nimbo, I think it was, they hired the Hunter Association to get the free primary liquids, and we don't know what those three primary liquids are. We have no idea. But all of them met with the gas life form AI, and all of them were killed. They didn't get the liquid, they didn't manage to get them. There were only a few survivors, and those that returned were lost their sanity, so they were crazy people. They didn't have any information. So basically, the AIs, the gas forms, were the most hostile until now. Then there was the fifth trip done by the Ukrainian, I think Ukrainian organization or country or whatever. They basically wanted to get alchemic. Yeah, sorry, I don't know if I pronounced this correctly, but alchemic plant named Metallion, whatever, and they contracted the worst disease ever, the disease of vampire. Only a few people returned. The plants they got withered away because of the disease, and the ones that returned, we all know they were zombies. And I know, I didn't want it to be zombies because zombies are so popular these days. Everybody likes about zombies, and it's like, oh god damn it, zombies again, to hell with it. But it seems like we're gonna have zombies. So now, my personal wish is that if we're going to get zombies anyway, at least let it be a special kind of zombies, or add something to it, a little bit of flavor. I'm just going to stop right there because we don't know yet. But basically that was the fifth trip. There was another sixth trip that was not recorded anymore because it wasn't authorized, and that is the trip that the old man went to Isaac Netero along with Zeke Zoldyck and the girl named Ned Audoble. I don't know. So they went on a special path, a path that nobody else took, and they practically ended up in a gigantic world. Everything was gigantic right there. And it was because of that trip that Netero convinced the V5 not to send anyone anymore to the Dark Continent. And it stayed like that until Beyond Netero died in the battle with the king. And one other thing that is mentioned in this chapter is that the creatures there, at least Brian and Papu, were a lot stronger than the Chimera and King. A lot stronger, so we'll have to see. I'm not thinking anything more about that. But basically after Jim tells his troop these details, one of the members of his troop asks, well, how do you know all of this? How did people know all of this? How did they know where to go search for these ingredients, for the ghost stone, for the all curing herb, blah blah blah? How did they know which directions to go? And this is the biggest surprise of the chapter. Jin reveals that 300 years ago, when he says the world is in no shortage of food, and 300 years ago someone wrote a journal, someone went on a trip along the bank of Lake Mobius, and he wrote a journal, the west and the east parts of Lake Mobius, and apparently in that journal there were details about all these locations, so that's how people knew where to land and what to search for. And Jing also tells his troop that only half of the journal was found, the east part, because if we look, and I'm going to probably put the map again somewhere here, probably, I don't know, But if you look on the map, uh, all the journeys were in the east part of the lake. Eastern, I should say, eastern part of the lake. And that's because they only have that part of the journal. They don't have the west part of the journal. And then Jing said there are three possibilities. Three possibilities. The first possibility is that they didn't, the Hunter organization, the V5 team found the west part of the journal. The second possibility is that whoever wrote the journal realized that he couldn't do it in a lifetime, and he quit writing the west part of the journal. And the third possibility, which we all know that this is the true possibility because it's so shocking that it has to be the right one, is that he didn't finish it yet. He didn't finish he is still writing about the west part of Lake Mobius. And one of the troops asked, well, how is that possible? The east part was written 300 years ago. That means that if this guy is still writing, he has to be more than 300 years old. And then they remember the all-curing herb, which can cure 10,000 diseases theoretically, and probably could also cure the disease that is death. Because if there is a disease that makes you a zombie, the zombie disease that actually kills you but keeps you alive, then on a story basis we have to think that death itself is a disease. And if this herb can cure 10,000 diseases, probably can cure death. So it can make one not immortal, but it can make one not age, not die because of old age. We can assume that. And then, of course, Jing reveals the name of the writer, the author of the East journal, is part of the journal, and it's Don Freak. So I don't know what that means. It could be his late, not late, but his grandfather. And yeah, it was to be expected that someone crazy enough to make a journal about the Dark Continent and the shores of Lake Mobius would be someone from the Freaks family. It will also give Gon a reason to go there, it gives Jing a reason to go there, but Jing also has more, had it in his blood to explore, so it gives him an extra reason to go there and search for his whatever it was, grandfather. And yeah, the chapter is shocking. It has a lot of information. It is also shocking, and I want to make a video with some of my theories about this, have a discussion about this, and I think I'm going to do it this Sunday or Saturday. I'm not sure, whenever I have the time, but it will definitely be done this weekend. So for you guys, look out for the discussion this weekend. And yeah, this was a great chapter, and I hope that Togashi keeps on writing this. I hope that he doesn't take another break because I really want to see this arc finished. I know it's just the beginning of the arc. We have a lot more to go on, but I really want the Dark Continents to be finished. And without wasting any more of your time, I wish you a good day. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Any rational society would either kill me or put me to some use.